Sunday rolls around and they're back on the screen. James and Dan, the wildest pair you've ever seen. Shooting up the airwaves, ready to ignite. Talking all things Poda, they're live tonight. From pile-ups to gear and crazy ham hacks, you never know where the convo tracks. One minute it's antennas, next it's a dare. Welcome to the world of the wild on-air affair. It's shenanigans, cranking up the sound. James and Dan taking Poda to town. Talking crazy calls and late night thrills. Tuning up the bands with the power and the skills. Shenanigans, you know it's never take. Every Sunday night they're bringing the game. They're swapping stories about the wildest roads. Park to park, from the highs to the bros. Radio's failing, but they make it through. Working those stations, yeah, nothing they can't do. James says, late shift's the thrill of it all. Dan's like, watch this pile up, I'll catch 'em all. With gear on the table and coffee in hand, they're rocking shenanigans across the land. It's shenanigans, cranking up the sound. James and Dan taking Poda to town. Talking crazy calls and late night thrills. Tuning up the bands with the power and the skills. Shenanigans, you know it's never take. Every Sunday night they're bringing the game. From wild activations to DX trees, they're riding the waves, breaking all the beats. Maybe a bet on who's faster on the draw. No matter what they chat, they leave us in awe.
What is up, Ham Radio? Kilo Echo 8, Papa Zulu November, the Ham Radio Adventure Guy. Thanks for stopping by, your one stop for everything Adventure Radio. It is Sunday, time for shenanigans, a little bit of great music, and a whole lot of fun. Welcome to Shenanigans from the Kingdom Capital itself. That's right. First stream back in West Virginia, and hopefully it's going to be a great one. And it's always great. Because I'll tell you what, I got to see quite a few of these guys on my trip, and it made it really good. And now I'm already starting to prepare for the next adventures where I get to hang out with these guys again. Also, shout out to the YouTube members. You know what, Brian? I think you're going to be on the bottom of there forever. Everybody's scared to rove, buddy. They're just scared to rove. Ever-changing board. Well, the top three spots didn't change, but everything else pretty much changed around. I'll tell you what, bunches of movement. Thank you very much to Kent for the off-stream Buy Me a Coffee just about 7 minutes before the stream. So that's where everybody's currently standing, and you never know. Wednesday, it'll probably look different. What's going on, Dan?
Man, not a lot. Welcome to, what are we at? Episode 111 of Shenanigans. You believe we made it this far. And the thing's still on. If you've watched all 111 episodes, let us know. Whiskey Charlie was first in the chat. Brian, hello. Kent Kilo 9 Alpha Echo Georgia Parks and Propagation. That's our buddy Ron Chris Alpha Echo 4 X-Ray Oscar. Andy Callie, always here. Always great to have you. Ronnie Kilo Oscar 4 Zulu Romeo X-Ray is here. James, Dad, Kilo Delta 9 Uniform Victor Kilo, Toby, Alpha Delta 2 Charlie Delta, the Pops, Kilo 8, Golf Quebec, Mike A88KB, good to see you. Scott into TKT. Hello, hello. Gene McPhee from Texas and Alpha Echo 4 because Georgia made you pay at the park.
Absolutely. Thank you very much for the super chat. And yes, Georgia did make me pay for the park, so I appreciate that. And actually, you probably appreciate that too, because that actually breaks you out of a tie with Dan.
Hey, so, there you go, man. Man, Frequency Frontiers, KY4 GM. Good to see you, buddy.
Mr. TikTok himself.
That's right. Welcome.
You know, we always promote people's YouTube channels. Let's tell everybody to go over to TikTok because people are scared to death of TikTok and watch Frequency Frontiers TikTok channel.
Yeah. Whiskey 8 Juliet Echo Sierra says, and you're 5'9", James.
Listen, he was trying to find a band when I was down in Florida that he wasn't 5'9" on, I believe.
That's right.
Because everyone he hunted me on, he was 5'9".
How's it feel to be back at the Capitol?
Good and cold.
All right.
I'll tell you what, I'm really thankful that I had a nice fishing hut tent for today because, you know, I've been used to activating outside, and I did get to activate outside with Terry the other day, but it wasn't as cold as it did. It was about 35 in Panther today.
That's cool.
And I didn't want to sit in the car because I really wanted to bang out some contacts. I'm a little behind where I personally want to be in CW, so I wanted to do some CW, a lot of CW, and it was quite nice to have a tent to just chill in. But I'll tell you what, Mingo County got hit by that flood. Let me tell you, you'd be driving along and all of a sudden you'd see signs and you just see, oh, no wonder the road's gone.
No more road. Whiskey 8 Oscar X-Ray. What's going on, buddy? Good evening. Welcome to Shenanigan. So the roads are just gone in places, huh? They got washed out.
Just totally like it just be like a crease across the road, you know, like I could jump that. Why they blocking that out for?
Yeah, Dukes of Hazzard, man.
I mean, I grew up watching the Dukes of Hazzard. I could get over that easy.
Guess what's almost over?
The stupid contest.
This right here. Crazy. Almost done with that kind of waterfall for a while.
Dude, I would go to a frequency and I would call as this frequency and use 4 or 5 times. And I'd start to set my log and get ready to log in. And then I'd hear a station just come out of nowhere. And then they'd just pile in there.
Yep.
And it happened like 3 different times. So the next time I said, is this frequency in use? And they said no. And I said, CQ Park's near, and just started filling out my log as I'm calling.
Most of them don't ask, man. It happened to us a couple of times. We made it through. We activated on 17 meters, but it was packed too. I mean, 17 meters is a small band to begin with, right? And everybody fleeing the contest was down there, and oh man, crazy. Yeah, Chris said you can join the DX.
Yeah.
If you don't want to call CQ, you can always just go to a park and contact the contester. Put them in your log.
You can, but my hunters frown upon that.
That's true. That is true.
I was happy. I did kind of a late shift last night, and most people were happy to see me do that. They all jumped in last night, pretty much. Got a few. You know what's also amazing? Ever since the last stream when I said I'm not going to sit and think about who worked me that day anymore, POTA is so much more enjoyable now that I ain't got to say, did I work him? Let me go back and look in the log and see if I got him.
Eddie said he went to the dark side during the contest and ran FT8. I did see you spotted on 20-meter FT8. And, yeah, but he was actually at a park, so it's okay.
Yeah, but he could have went to the dark side and did PSK 31.
That's true. And Whiskey 0, Charlie Golf Charlie, picked up 2 new countries today. He's at 200 DXCCs now. That is incredible, dude.
Nice. Well, what do I got to do to get you guys to start doing PSK 31? It's so much more fun, guys.
It is. It is.
Or Hellscriber, either one. I like them both.
Hellscriber, I mean, I need to put on, I mean, that mode aggravates me. Not the mode. The mode doesn't aggravate me. The display of the mode.
You just take a shot of whiskey before you get CQ, and you're just going to think it's the whiskey.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I don't know why. I don't know why it's like that, but man, it just aggravates me.
I called out on Olivia one day. I don't think I got nobody on Olivia though.
Does it look the same as Hellscriber? Elfeld or whatever?
No. It's about like PSK 31. Looks like PSK 31. Tell the federal government that you need to work from home.
Hey, from what I've been hearing, be lucky you still got a job there, Bob.
I use FL Digi is what I use. You can use a couple of different ones, but I use FL Digi.
Same here.
It seems to be pretty easy. So
I
did get back, Friday evening. Most people know that because 1810 got activated on Friday evening. But I got back and got very little sleep, and then got up early Saturday morning and went to the Charleston Ham Fest, and I was quite surprised the turnout of POTA people that were at the Charleston Ham Fest. So it was a pretty good turnout of POTA people there. We even had Richard from up in my favorite county in Maryland come down. So that's the first time I met him. But yeah, it was a good turnout of POTA people. So I was quite happy about that. And evidently there was I did walk around several times and didn't really see nothing, but I must have missed something because Kristen walked away with this little still here. I'm going to put this up here because he showed it to me at the meeting that night. So, but you know what? Let's ask the chat. Does anybody have any clue what this is that he walked away with from the Charleston Ham Fest? I'd love to see what people in the chat think this is.
A flux capacitor.
You're close. You're probably closest with that answer as anybody in the chat will get.
That's an interesting looking piece of equipment.
It definitely is. I'm just curious if anybody has any guesses.
Can we ask questions?
Sure. Well, you can ask questions.
Is it Eddie says it's D's. Matthew says it's a Laser Ranger something. Is it ham radio related?
I'm gonna say no.
Okay. That'll narrow it down. Okay. So yeah, Eddie, it might be D's. You never know.
And Matt is kind of right. I'm kind of right. That is a flashlight that's shining in it. He was just shining it through there. So don't be confused by the flashlight.
Bob says it's a prism.
It is a prism of some kind.
Aviation.
Man, you guys are getting a lot closer than I thought. Any more guesses before I let you know what this is?
It's hard for me to play dumb. I mean, full disclosure, I know what it is already, but a beacon, Matthew says, interesting.
All right, so I'm
you're going to see some real fireworks when that baby gets to 88 miles an hour.
All right, I'm going to put it out there what this is. So, for those of you who remember our President Ronald Reagan, he had a program called Star Wars, and it was a program where they targeted asteroids that they thought might possibly be hitting the Earth, and they would shoot them out of the sky. And this is a prism, aka a sort of a laser ranging device that was used to hone in on those. And it was bought at a ham fest in Charleston, West Virginia. And it is legit because you probably can't read that on the top of it, but He looked it all up and everything. So the guy who sold it to him actually bought it at another ham fest in Dayton, actually. At the Dayton Ham Fest is where he bought it. So
nice. Yeah, we might need that in 2032.
Pretty interesting find, I think, at a ham fest. Oh,
but will it help our fox hunting?
I don't know.
That's.
I'll tell you another interesting thing I seen there, and it was ham related. I actually have a picture, but I don't have it on here. But it was a 2-meter handheld, and it was probably about the size of this.
A teeny weeny.
And it was a 1 watt 2-meter that did APRS. It did of course it did FM. It did you could run FL Digi on it and do rig control.
Damn.
It did quite a bit of stuff. A lot of people looked at it. It had a price of $200 on it, and a lot of people thought about it even. But it's kind of one of those. It's kind of one of those things that you're paying $200 to say, "Look what I got."
Can you believe
kind of like that little prism thing?
A little prism, yeah. I only have one rig here at the house that can run APRS, and it's an old Kenwood TMD 700A mobile rig.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, which had
now wait a minute. Let me rephrase. Not only can it run APRS over HF, but it can run APRS through Wi-Fi as well, just like your phone can.
But I got a couple of devices, and I have been experimenting with the Meshtastic stuff. I saw Carrie's that she had Whiskey Alpha Victors, and picked up a couple of Meshtastic devices. I've been playing with those, and I know Robbie has as well. So try to make that something more to do at the next Hamfest.
Have you done anything cool out of them?
Not really. I mean, just the basic stuff. So far, I've set them up. I made a channel. Sent messages back and forth, position reports back and forth. I took it to work last week, just let it be in my truck while I was at work, and it picked up some interesting nodes around. Nothing really ham radio related, but other Meshtastic nodes. So, pretty interesting.
Okay. John has a 700 in a truck and a TM710 in the other truck. Yeah. No, well, my FT3DR it does APRS, and my 500 for the vehicle does APRS. And what else do I have that does APRS? My phone, of course. All phones do APRS.
Yeah, that's how I do it on mine. Yeah. Scott said he can hear Mike already. APRS is the most useless mode.
There's nothing useless if it makes you happy in ham radio. It makes you happy. FT8 ain't even useless because some of y'all it makes you happy.
Some people like to contest.
I mean, and honestly, if there's enough of you that do FT8 and there's a market for it, I can start selling spray cans of paint on the HRAG Adventure Center. And you can buy spray cans of paint and we'll call it ham radio related, and you can just watch the paint dry. And, instead of doing PSK 31 and actually talking to somebody.
You should come out with a shirt that says "Make FT8 Great Again."
Let's make FT8 obsolete again.
Have I seen the new DigiPi? No, I have not. I just started dabbling in this. In the Meshtastic stuff. I don't know if that's related, but
and that's the thing. I need to dabble in more of that stuff, but the problem is when do I have time to dabble in more of that stuff? Like, it's not like I can give up less sleep because I don't have it anyway.
I don't have a really good use for one either, Scott, except for get-togethers and Hamfests and stuff like that. You know, be good to have your own little Hamfest chat channel on there or whatnot. APRS was WSJT. That's interesting.
I don't know.
I'm a DigiPie. I'm going to put that in my list of stuff to do.
It was funny. So, Whiskey Victor 8 Tango was the guy who had that little tiny handheld. He brought all kinds of radio stuff. Ronnie is one of those people that I'm not going to say he's that late night person that stays up and watches TV and sees stuff on TV and buys it. But when it's ham radio related, he's like that. He's like, ooh, that looks cool. And he buys it because he was selling all kinds of stuff there that he got and never even, he bought it and never touched it.
I remember those growing up, the late night infomercials.
Yeah.
I wonder what would happen to the ham radio community's wallet if Gig Parts had like a 2 a.m. infomercial run.
But I was really excited that Ronnie was running a table down there. And I got there at 9 o'clock when that thing opened. And guess what? I walked straight in and walked straight to his table. And he was down to very few items. That's the problem, because all the early pickers, all the people that's got all the tables come by. And matter of fact, when he was setting up the day before, he sold one of his HFs. But that's the problem with the Hamfest. You can't get there when the door opens and get the good deals. They're already gone.
Yep. Hey, what's going on, Bobby? Whiskey Echo 4 Bravo Echo.
Because
Whiskey 1 Whiskey Charlie says he's late to the party, but he was actually first. Mine running as an APRS Digi and a web chat. That's cool. Okay.
See, I need to get in with some of this stuff, Dan.
Yeah, it's fun. I mean, I would guess a vast majority of people in the chat right now have a UV5R or something, some other Fang just laying around doing nothing,
Can some of you guys program a DigiPie for me to where it'll give me more hours in the day so I have time to play with these things too?
Yeah. Terry said just get a table next year and the problem's solved.
That's a good idea, Terry. That's a great idea. I should have got a table this year.
Those spikes.
Because really I just go to them just to hang out with POTA people anyway. I'll just get a table, man, and just sit there.
A little Burger King crown on the end of it.
Forget the Burger King crown.
Oh, I think he's trying to find his real king crown here. Need a bigger SD card, yeah, probably. Yeah, a lot of us probably have old. I mean, not necessarily old, but a lot of Baofangs or whatever radios just laying around the house that we could probably put to some kind of use. Oh, look at there.
Why would you use a Burger King crown? I'm a king, son. Heavy as the crown. Here you go. Listen to this.
What's that thing made out of? Jeeves.
Yeah. That song by Linkin Park, "Heavy as the Crown." That's my life, man. People think it's cool to be king until you got to do kingly things, like go out and activate every day of your life.
Right. I appreciate the link there, Ronnie. Yeah, I'll check that out.
Yeah, there's all kinds of ham radio stuff I'd love to get into. I just have to take the time off of POTA and YouTube to do it, and I just don't have that time. I am quite proud though. My videos are back on schedule. They're more than on schedule. There's been extra videos getting released every week now, so I'm glad for that. I'm going to be a busy character this evening though, because all the orders that I got for PP spikes in February, I get to start putting together and shipping out. So Monday morning is going to be a very busy day at the post office. I get to go pick up my mail for a month.
About to say they're going to
that
look
was
at you
held.
crazy.
It's crazy because I'm just going to take a whole box of spikes down there to ship out, and I'll just put the mail in the box with the spikes with it. So
You should get some kind of bulk rate discount. That'd be nice, wouldn't
it? I wonder if I can send PP spikes through the bureau.
Probably not.
I'm like, I shipped through the bureau. Great. You'll get it in 5 years.
Oh, that'll be great. Yeah. Speaking of that, man, there's speaking of 5 years, there's people these days are kind of, I don't know, used to the fact that they can get almost instant, confirmation on their contacts. Now I was licensed to 95, and I remember when sometimes it would be months, year before you got, good confirmation for a contact,
John's got it right here. My wife asked if you were still in Florida. Said yes. She said, "What's he do?" I said, "Boda." Oh, yeah. It's a curse and it's a blessing. I'll tell you right now.
Well, Chris said he sent you a 101 MP when you finally get to the post office. You'll be able to get it.
Oh, okay. Good deal. I'll be there first thing in the morning, so.
It'd be funny if they said we held it for 15 days and just returned it to sender.
It was too heavy to hang around here. That's one of the. There's a few Yezus in the collection that I still need to get. That's the big one for sure. I don't know why I want that radio so bad. Because then I'm going to want to use it more. And,
how much of a pain would it be to POTA with it though? You got the external power supply, right?
Yeah. Well, I don't think they'll run off.
I don't think so.
Off the regular battery.
Terry would know because he has one. I don't know if you can run it just off a DC power supply or not.
But now you could take it to a campground that has Sure Power and run it.
Yeah. You can just tote a generator with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what Mo just said. Tote a generator with you.
Just take a generator, pull it behind the POTA wagon, right?
Yeah. There you go.
Oh, great
stuff. Or you could be really, really inefficient and hook an inverter up to your battery bank to convert the DC back to AC. So you can plug in your radio and it's going to convert it right back to DC. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I pack enough stuff out. But I'll tell you what, I haven't done a review on my new key yet, but I'm here to tell you this one may be my favorite key.
Send like butter.
I mean it even though I couldn't send Dan's call to save my soul today.
That was funny.
Two out of 3 CW contacts I messed up Dan's call. But it's a really smooth, nice key. I'll tell you what.
I was using the Modern Morse nameless here in the shack for a while, just getting used to it, getting everything screwed in how I wanted it, and took it out for an activation yesterday for the first time. So my first time actually fielding calls with it being the activator. I like it. That key is nice. It's a good sending key.
Well, good. That's good. I'm good to hear a good report about it. I'm not going to order one because we all know I don't like to wait for things.
Yeah.
But, if somebody wants to send me one and I don't know it's coming, I'm fine with that.
There you go.
Because I do like paddles. And I do have, I got to say, I have some of the the nicest paddles that are out there now.
How many do you have now? Have you taken an inventory count lately to see how
No,
bad your addiction is?
I have no idea.
Yeah.
I can tell you, I have 1, 2, 3, 4 that are not cheap.
Yeah.
At all. I have 4 that are not cheap at all.
I have
2 Begalis, a Bombatech, and the N3ZN.
1, 2. Well, then I have 4 that aren't cheap. Yeah. The Bombatech, 2 Begalis, and the one I just got, the Modern Mars. All the rest of them are the CW Morris version of the N0 SA, not the OG. I'd love to have the OG version. But.
You know, I liked that key when I had it.
Yeah.
I would love to know who stole that key.
I tried to use it a couple weeks ago at an activation, just to see. I just reached in my bag and grabbed one because I normally have like 2 or 3 keys in my bag. I just reached in and grabbed one. I'm like not paying attention. I just grabbed one and said, I'm going to use whatever I grab, whether it's the one that Robbie made, the one I got for for the Christmas party, whatever. I was just going to use it, and I grabbed that little N0 SA from CW Morris, and I could not send on it to save my life. I was so used to that Bombatech, I could not use that key.
Well, you've adjusted your Bombatech, so yours ain't like mine.
Yeah.
I did adjust my N3ZN just a smidge. I mean, just a smidge because it wasn't really adjusted from the stock. Yeah, it was. I mean, unless you're going to send 50 words a minute, it wasn't adjusted. I breathed on it and I wrote the Webster's dictionary, but
that's what your Bombatech does.
I did turn it to just a smidge, and it's a great battle. So,
North Carolina for Extreme Lovers is in the house. Hello, Don. Good evening.
Always good to see Dom in the chat.
Absolutely. But no, I don't need another. See, that's the whole thing, man. I don't need another CW key. I don't. You don't either. But if something cool comes out and it catches your eye, it's kind of like,
I don't need another QRP radio either. But yet,
right.
I was so disappointed that the Yaesu radio was not out in February. And then I don't even remember the name of it off the top of my head. And somebody in the chat's going to tell me what it is. But Bill Brown's been using a new little QRP radio that looks pretty interesting to me as well. So
I wasn't so much mad because it wasn't out. I'm mad because I don't know what the price tag is yet.
Yeah, if I could just know a price tag, that you're right, that would absolutely help my soul.
Yeah.
Because that's kind of a bad thing. And I honestly, I'm really regretting listening to PP Man. Nobody should ever listen to PP Man, by the way. Because, he talked me out of buying a KH1 when I was going to get a KH1. And then, he said, there's no reason you've got a KX3. He's like, I would never have one because I got the KX2, blah, 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 blah. And what does he do?
Yeah,
he buys one.
Goes out and buys one. Yeah.
And, because he's telling me that I would never have a reason to have it. But I've thought of a reason why I need it. I want to do the Ford Theater in Washington.
Yeah.
What better radio to do the Ford Theater in Washington than the KH1?
Probably not just the Ford Theater, too. Probably a lot of them there.
Exactly. These little historical markers and museums and stuff that are really tight to get in and stuff like that.
I don't know what the guy was running. I got the Ford Theater from a couple of weeks ago, but it sounded like he was running some sort of maybe a potato with like a rubber paperclip antenna. But we made the QSO, and I'm in his log. I got it's on POTA, so maybe he was running a KH1. But yeah, that'd be perfect for those.
I mean, it's I don't know.
Be nice for a soda too. I mean, you figure if you're on top of a mountain up 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 feet, I mean that thing's gonna do
I
some
mean,
good.
I've got radios over there that I actually need to take. And okay, here's another thing that says heavy as the crown. So I've got some QRP radios that I need to go and take out and use more often. And I don't have problems activating on QRP. I have none at all, but the hate mail that I get when I come off a mountain or come off of a really weird place that I've activated QRP, I couldn't get you. This is blah, 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 blah. It's just horrible. You can't even activate with what you want. It's just like everybody hates because a lot of the road trip parks, if it was a tight spot, I just use the ATOS.
Call me weird, and I know it's not like a long distance to travel to call me weird or anything, but if somebody spots that they're QRP, I'll single out that spot because it's a challenge for me to hear that activator. And I like that challenge. It teaches me more about my radio. It teaches me more about things I can do to pull out weak signals. I love working QRP active.
He's no longer mommy noodles. He's the mother of all noodles.
That's right. Astronaut Afro Zero Zucchinis, mother of all noodles, is in that.
That's getting a little Khaleesi on me there, Kyle. Yeah. Are you trying to say you're trying to make a claim on the throne or something? Are you gonna bring dragons and attack me?
Well, let's go ahead and get this out in the open right now. His hair is not nearly as good as Khaleesi.
Well, neither is his chest, but
okay.
I will warn you.
But the backside's close.
I will warn you, Kyle. If you bring a dragon, I do have protection.
Is that your Dragon Slayer?
I got the Dragon Slayer here. Oh.
It's a pixie friend.
No, it's not my dog, Kyle, but I heard dragons were in the area, so I decided to dog sit.
Kyle, did you participate in the Sideband DX at all? And if so, how did you do, or how are you doing?
And if you did participate in it, did you do it from your mom's basement so you could be full lid?
And if you did participate in it, did you ask if the frequency was in use before you started calling CQ? Because the vast majority did not. Douglas, is that Douglas V or Douglas 5? Amateur Radio and more. Good to see you. Good to see you.
Kyle's not answering none of our vid questions, Stan. He doesn't like us very well, I don't think.
Well, he might be calling CQ.
He's just being a vid on our program. He's still doing the contest, and he's like, "Hey, y'all, watch me be a vid on YouTube and on the thing."
There you go. We did do some contesting down there on Saturday. Last count was about 1,700 Qs. Man, that's Bush League.
So you ran for for an hour and a half?
Yeah. How was your did you have a police copy counter going, maybe a no dread? You need to write a no dread police copy counter for contest.
That is V as in Vern, man.
Awesome.
You got 1,700 Qs in 37 minutes. Okay, you're running on point. Whiskey 1, Whiskey Charlie.
No police copy counter, but I do have a counter. We need a. Actually, I think every contest, even a RIDI, because they do PSC, CPY, or whatever, even CW. I think they all need a please copy counter.
Maybe I should start adding please copy to all of my CW QSOs.
There you go.
Maybe
Make
Kyle
a-
would start hunting me CW again.
Make a little, just make a memory, keyer. You hit it and it goes, please copy. You are 599 West Virginia.
So Dan, you're Mr. Memory Keys. Do you send anything in CW when you activate besides their actual call sign?
Absolutely. I do. I send their call sign back, the signal report. Then I say back to you. And then when they come back, I'll say thank you by hand. I'll say thank you for their state. If I know them and I worked them before, I'll say, and thank you, James. And then I'll send did for and then I'll hit my third memory key, which sends 73, then my call sign. Did.
See, you're lying because you don't say thank you, James, to me. You say Wolf.
Well, Wolf, yeah. Terry flexing the 26 month membership.
Hey, look there, the Duke Alabama flexing right behind him. What's up?
Bang, bang. What's up, buddy? Oh, yeah. So Terry says, please send pineapple upside down cake. I want to hear more about this upside down pizza that you had last week.
Oh, my goodness, dude.
Yeah.
That thing was amazing. I do have a video of how to make that. But basically, so it's made in a cast iron skillet, okay?
Okay.
You put pepperoni down, you put bacon bits down, then you put cheese. You take your pizza sauce and mix in Italian sausage in your pizza sauce and put that on top of the cheese. Then you put provolone cheese. Then you take your whatever crust you're going to use and put it on top, and you cook it upside down. Then you flip it and put Parmesan cheese on the top when it's done. And let me tell you, that thing was amazingly good. They actually, not in the recipe, but they actually took and rolled the crust up a little bit around cheese sticks and made it stuffed crust as well. So.
Kyle shared with us, he actually has a please copy counter in No Dread. Yes, this is a must use during contests for sure. That is awesome.
Maybe I should start using Node Red and have you talked out of place counter.
I'm not calling the Kilo Foxtrot, only the Alpha Echo. Kilo Foxtrot. Does your call sign? I've done this to people. Like I say, Alpha Echo station, and I'll get like a Kilo Foxtrot, and I'll say negative. The Alpha Echo station come now. Kilo Foxtrot. Then I'll call them out. I'll say Kilo Foxtrot, blah 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 blah, and they'll say, yeah, thanks. You're 5'9" and blah 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 blah. And I say Kilo Foxtrot, blah 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 blah. Does your call sign start with an Alpha Echo? Well, no. All right then. QR's that. Not in the law.
I love when you say park to park only, and somebody throws out their call sign, and you type in their call sign and you tell them you're 5'9" in my park, blah blah blah, and then they say, all right, thanks a lot. I'm like, well, what's your park number? Oh, I'm not park to park.
Yeah. Now, what I do, what I love doing actually, is if it's a nice big pile up and the activator takes a moment to ask for part to parks, QRPs, mobiles, DX, whatever. I'll reach up here. I'll shut the amp off. I'll drop the drive power down to like 8 watts or so. It's 5, 6, 7, 8 watts. And I'll call them. And normally I'll get right through. And they're like,
if you're lowering your drive power.
Yeah. And they're like, no, I'll turn the amp off and actually run QRP.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Like, 5, 6, 7, 8 watts. And then we're like, Whiskey Delta 4, Delta Alpha November, 5'9". Like, thanks. I mean, if you're going to call for QRPs and I've been trying to get in your pilot for a while, I don't mind playing the game. It's fun.
Here's the thing. I don't know why all the hunters will fuss if you're QRP. because you have no idea how many times that I've sat at the park for 2 hours and I'm just really sick of taking calls because, I run, 6, 7 calls a minute average, and that's a lot of calls. And I just start taking the power down and taking the power. And I still, when I get down to 5 watts, I'm still working 30 and 40 calls afterwards.
Yeah, it seems like it doesn't do that much difference.
But now, if I would have said QRP, I'd have worked like 20 people total, and everybody else would have said, I couldn't hear you.
Yeah. We do
Now-
that sometimes in really big pileups when we're just, we either got to go, the park's closing, or whatever. We're just
When I've
tired of
called last
pileup.
call 52 times.
Yeah. And we'll start slowly. We'll go from 100 watts down to 50. We'll do that big chunk. And the pileup is still there. So that bump from 50 to 100 watts doesn't make much of a difference. And then we'll go as low as the 891 will. We'll drop it down to 5 watts, and your pilup's still there. That's what
Welcome,
I get for
Eric.
such a good antenna, I guess. Eric, what's going on, buddy? Yeah, last call is a pileup inviter.
Okay, you're right. I do run good antennas. I do have great signals most of the time. But there's also times where I'm trying to speed up things, and I do run antennas that are not the greatest in the world. And why do you feel the need to message me after you've made contact with me? I'm like, man, you were really weak. You were a 5.3 today.
Kyle says, just think in the 50s and 60s, PZN will be the best telephone operator with all the calls you can keep track of. You're living in the wrong era. Y'all just imagine this for 1 second. PZN wearing the old style, the telephone operator headphones, and he has all these patch cables in his hand, and he's just sitting there. That would be great.
I wish I could do that with my radio. When the vids come in, I'm like, here, let me patch you over to Dan's activation. I'm busy right now. let me send you over to 7074.
Yeah.
You can yell at them guys for a while.
And you, sir, go to 7200. Oh, my goodness.
Oh, I'm sorry. You're a vid. You're on the wrong frequency. 7200 it is.
Whiskey One Whiskey Charlie with a super chat. I've gone down to 5 watts and still had a pile up, so he tipped his antenna over and laid it on the ground.
Yeah, I told y'all the other day I was working. My vertical was laying on the ground, and I was still working. And evidently, Larry lost me from Canada. I was in Florida. No, I was on the way back. I was in Georgia then, and he didn't hear me through all the other people talking, and somebody even was like, "Well, go, Larry, go." He said, "You're 5'9". And then Sherry has to run up there and pick up the vertical, and she is scared to death I was gonna zap her like I did Dan.
This is cool. So I ran into this, Chris. I've heard this 2 times. And I ran into it once very recently. He wants to do an activation with 2 different operators in 2 different parks on the same frequency. So multi-op activation, you're in different parks. Now, the 2 times that I've heard this was KO4GAR did it with KB2 FMH. It was on 60 meters, I believe, between North Carolina and New York. They did an activation like that. The most recently I heard it was just last week, maybe the week before. Victor Alpha 3 Bravo India X-Ray Simon did it. Excuse me, right? 7. Simon did it with Mr. Mudd. I can't. Victor Alpha. God, I can't remember his number. MUD Mudd. They were doing an activation like that too. It was pretty cool.
It
it
doesn't get done a lot, but
Just
if you can remember, Dan, we were down in Jekyll Island, and it was me, you, Sherry, and Bobby activating.
Bobby, yeah.
Whiskey Echo 4 Bravo Echo that's in the chat. And we were passing the mic, and one of the hunters, each hunter each activator that he got to said, "Okay, you're in the same park, and you're right there by the radio." So when he got to me, I said, "Yeah, you're 5'9", different park," and he said, "Different park." I said, "No, not really. I just wanted to see what you'd say."
Yeah. Yeah, that would be fun. If you get too diversely spread out, though, there's a chance that a hunter can hear one but not the other.
Brian says try 2 different parks, 2 different countries.
Yeah.
Well, I've done that. But not know it. Because I've been on 20 meters before working, and a hunter tell me, hold on, James, let me work this DX and then I'll get you.
I've worked a couple. Yeah, like maybe 2 or 3 times I've had the opportunity. I'll throw my call sign out to an activator, and then I'll hear 2 activators come back to me at the exact same time. I'll give them 5'9" in one shot, and they'll both say 73.
That's the bad thing about 20 meters.
Yeah.
Is, it's, you can call us this frequency in use as much as you want, and nobody is going to come back to you until a certain hunter hears you. Because if they're far enough away, you're not hearing them, and they're not, you're both portable. Chances are the hunters might hear 2 of you, but the activator, I've done it multiple times on 20 meters.
Yeah. Now 20 today, man, it was, I mean, I was hearing my normal distance stations, but I was also hitting a lot of stuff real close. I mean, I was here in Middle Georgia on 20 meters. South Carolina, I was hearing really good. I worked 17 meters to Kentucky. I was like, the bands are kind of weird today, but I like it.
Yeah, I've had that too, Eric. I've had me be working a station and another station. They're like, there's somebody else trying to answer me, James, but you're 5'9". So yeah, I've had that happen as well. That's why I love 40 meters, and I'm glad to be back in West Virginia because I can go to 40. I can do as many contacts as I need to do on 40 meters, and I don't have to go anywhere else if I don't want to.
Yeah, but still on 20, your 20 meter signal from West Virginia to here is like your 40 meter signal from Florida to here. You are just loud. There's no other way to put it. It's almost like it just, maybe that first hop is just right dead on top of my house.
And it just depends. Like yesterday, I didn't do very great on 20 meters when I hit it. And today, I was 5'9" with everybody.
Oh, Japan on 40 this morning. That is awesome. Yeah, 20 was running short. Dean says 20 seemed an awful lot like 40 today. Yeah, I mean, 20 was running short enough where you would think it would be 40 meters. It was crazy.
I got to agree with Mike. The like button needs work, guys. It takes you 0 effort to click that like button for me and help me in the algorithm.
Oh, Charlie Golf Charlie just got Vietnam.
Very nice. That's a nice contact right there.
But did you whisper to him? That's the question. I doubt it. If you whisper to a DXCC, Chris, you get double points, by the way.
Terry says I was a 1-1 to him on 20 meters today, Dan.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you what, West Virginia contacts on 40 today. My goodness, I don't know what it was, but every West Virginia hunter that I got, which was quite a few, was 5'9" plus.
Mm-hmm. Oh, they were 100 watts. No, nice. Talking about Vietnam. That was awesome.
And
Yeah,
George says it best. Kapow.
that's right. Move your little finger down below if you're on a mobile device. Find the little thumbs up button and smash it.
And if you're watching it on your TV, guess what? You can take your remote and you can do it too. It's really, really easy. And it is March. I did not meet my goal that I wanted in February. So if you're one of those weird people who like to watch us and don't not subscribe, change your mind and just go ahead and subscribe.
Join the madhouse. It is
That's right. It's a great madhouse to be. I'll tell you what. The community that I have here are the best people in the world. I can guarantee that. You won't find better radio people than in my Discord. That is just a guaranteed fact.
The big Hamily. The Hamily.
Absolutely. I'll tell you what, we are coming up on the top of the hour, and I don't know who's next. Probably
that boy ain't right.
Yeah, you probably don't have a YouTube account. There's been people that's watched my streams before that I had to convince them they had a YouTube account.
Right.
Just so you know.
Hey, see you, Bang Bang, making breakfast for supper. That sounds good, buddy.
Breakfast for supper is always good. I have deer chili, George, so I'm in good shape today. But anyway, it is coming up on the top of the hour. I think it's Charlie next because Frank was last week. I could be wrong. It might be Frank, but it's one of the two. If you want to, you can go out and check them out next. And while you're there, you can make sure and watch your Hamilverts because there's a really famous park that is getting ready to be activated here in about 10, 15 minutes whenever I get over there. It's a rare entity that US 1810 is getting, which it has been a rare entity since the month of January. It's not been activated that much. So yeah, I'll be going out to do 1810 for late shift. And other than that, thanks everybody for the super chats. And Dan, what do you got coming up?
Not a lot. Let's see, Eric says Tank has a video coming up at 7.
Okay.
And Kyle says he hasn't seen Charlie stream in a while, so hopefully he's okay. But other than that, this guy over here is going to activate some parks and drop some videos, and I'm sure he's going to tell you about it.
Yeah, you're probably right. I've been on a video tear. When I first got to Florida, I was really, really busy and a lot of hectic things going on, and I was breaking ribs and having issues. But I've made up for it over the past couple of weeks, and I've pretty much been dropping videos every day, in some sense. So it's good. It's good to be back, and it's awesome that y'all treat YouTube like a scheduled net. That's right. This is my frequency right here. Sundays at 6:00 and Wednesday at 8:00. Those are my frequencies. I've did them for 42 years, and you can get off my lawn if you think you're going to interfere with it.
I think on Sundays I ought to fire up NetLogger.
That's right. But there's fixing to be a lot more live streams coming up, but they're not going to be a scheduled net. They're going to be, I'm taking over your frequency because I'm the king.
There you go.
So I got some new stuff coming, some new toys coming to help me out with that, and it's going to be fun. But anyway, I'm going to go activate, and I will catch you guys on the radio, I'm sure. So thanks everybody, and 73.
See ya.